outstanding start to this summer series, and we have plenty of great matches to show you. So let's have a little look at the schedule of what today is bringing you in the Timeless Broadcast Project. So on this stream, of course, we'll be following ex Oblivione's matches. First up, they'll be playing Play, and followed by Triple Esports after a short break. So that's pretty simple. You can also go check on the other Timeless Broadcast stream, which is on Sheer Cold's channel, where they have some games going on also at the moment. The standings are looking pretty solid for ex Oblivione. They kind of had a comeback in round two. Round one was sorry, in round three and four, because rounds one and two was very competitive for them, and they fought their way back from eighth place, and they definitely have their sights set on Twisted Minds.
Yeah, that Twisted Mind squad is going to be very difficult to catch. They're a very good squad, but this is a good place to start off with. They've got exclamation part Play here, who is 2-1 below them. Obviously, it is still pretty close, but looking at that map differential, things are a little bit more in the favor of Ex Oblivione, and then with the same thing with Triple Esports, who are in that 500 realm at the moment. So, if you're here, you're an Ex Oblivione fan, you should be looking forward to today.
Absolutely. And yeah, Play are doing very well for coming in third in the Open Division qualifiers and now getting to play in the Contenders pool. That's the middle of the pack standing so far, so maybe they can take it to Ex Oblivione. Maybe they can really prove themselves today. But let's have a little look at Ex Oblivione's roster to remind you folks of how stacked it is. We have Chase Torch and Vistola on the tank line. They swap back and forth, and it gives the team quite a different feel when these two tanks are coming in. And Chase is a very solid Winston player, and it gives Ex Oblivione that strong dive. Cookie and Maymone are absolutely nutty on DPS, particularly Maymone, potentially player of the season for me in my eyes. And of course, the legendary Crispy Can Nail support line.
Yeah, and then on the side of Play, if we have that graphic for us as well, we can get into that. Well, so we don't have.
Yeah,
we
unfortunately,
don't
we
have
don't.
So I'll just read off their roster right here from Wikipedia. We've got Pack, Keo, Swag Money, Gruen K, TVNT, Reflect Momentum, and Happy Sloth. But well, we're going to be going into Busan to start things off here, Gio.
Yes, we are. Now, Keo, Gronick, and Reflect are all players from that Open Division squad that got them into that third place in the qualifiers. This scoreboard's currently the wrong way, but on your right is Ex Oblivione, on your left is Play. Ex Oblivione, they're looking for that clean win, right? That's what they're looking for, because they're wanting to try and catch up to Twisted Minds as much as they can. And Play, they're just trying to do the best that they're capable of, against this stacked squad. If they can take a map or two, or, heck, anything's possible win against Ex Oblivione, it would be incredible for their standings and for the rest of their season.
Yeah, definitely. As they're looking to get things underway here, Gio. They've got the Chase Torch. Obviously going to be on that Winston, like you were talking about. If you're not playing Winston right now, what are you really doing? But we'll see if Gruen K can get work done with this Reinhardt here.
Yeah, trying to get down one of these angles. Can't quite find anything as Q goes down already. They're in a very tough spot. They're really struggling against, like you said, a very meta Winston composition.
Yeah, as they're coming through, the nice shots coming in from Maymone from up top with that the Echo going back, as it's looking like Ex Oblivione are going to be able to get that first capture here of the afternoon or night.
Yeah, Play are just struggling to find those angles, but they found it and now completely taking Sky off the board. Opportunities for them, but again, there's so much movement on the side of Ex Oblivione that they're still struggling to get everyone isolated.
Mamone with a nice focusing beam, getting people down super low, and then going in for the follow-up there, getting the copy over onto the Reinhardt, wrapping things up yet again. If play does get that capture percentage for a little bit of time, so it's gonna be a little bit longer of a first map than Oblivione would have hoped for.
Yeah, it's a very classic EU team move to really stick to your guns and play that brawl against a composition where you're getting poked and prodded by Cookie and Maimone on the Echo and Ash that have that pocket, so it's intense damage. Now they're just trying to force that point.
They are indeed, as they're going to come in there, and oh my goodness, the Tesla cannon is just so much damage coming in, and Maimone and Chase Torch just combined for these kills coming in. Oblivione just taking no prisoners right now.
And when we talked to Chase last week, there was a little bit of maybe a lack of self-confidence in their performance, at least on the first day. But certainly since then, Chase has proven why they've been selected to be on this squad and why they're the key Winston player for Oblivion. They're juggling it. It speaks for itself.
Really does indeed. There's now the Nano Boost coming in here, but the Blizzard comes through from Pax trying to finish things off. They do lose their Bob, but no one else has gone down. They do get the point flip back into their favor, but now they still have to combine and deal with the rest of Oblivione. They've already lost Reflect, but can they find anything to change this? Sky goes down. That's a huge pick for play. That healing no longer there. Crispy has to keep everyone up and healthy, but Gruen K falls down. Maimone again continuing to just dominate this lobby on the Echo is just doing so much work, and well, not to be outdone, Chase Torch continuing to find these picks as they're looking to get this back, but they're still stalling it out. It's up to 38% here now with the Amp Matrix coming through, and Chase Torch down and out. They still have to invest more. Does Oblivione? They've got to use this that copy to get Maimone into this fight with that copy of Blizzard hopefully quite soon, or they're not going to get it at all, as it's not looking too hot for Oblivione, as they don't even get any value with their copy.
This fight has gone so well for play, just extending it so that they can play the game that they want, but Chase is coming in with the juggle here, trying to get some players off the map.
Chase Torch did get Reflect off the map, and it's still looking well, but Maimone's going to go down. It is just Chase Torch left there, and super low HP trying to get away. Cookie does come back, though. Momentum is now gone, and that's the opening that could be used for Oblivione here, as now they've got their respawns here and now, trying to come back to the point, get things solidified. They've already lost this, the percentage in favor of play now. It's down to last fight territory now with Bob coming through, the Sound Barrier, the May ultimate coming through, but it is just all right now play. They've got to get something going if you're Oblivione, but the Deadeye comes through. Sky is gone. This is not looking good. Keo on the Cassidy doing all of the work necessary for play right now, as they do get that res back, but it just does not seem to be enough unless there's some hero plays coming in from Oblivione. Maimone starting it off well, the focusing beam taking Keo out, but they've got to find more. It's just Chase and Sky on this Lucio now, but packing momentum, finishing things out. The Mercy pocketed Echo is there as well, but the Shatter comes through. It just looks all but over here. Momentum coming through with a couple of picks as play take round number 1.
Yeah, play, once he cemented himself on point, and we're really just forcing Oblivione to play their game, to play in their strength, that is that extended sort of mid-fight kind of style. Exo were struggling to find eliminations, particularly Keo on the Cassidy was severely under-focused from Oblivione and was getting a little too much value on that high ground. Perhaps, a bit of focus on trying to nullify what Keo can do in those key positions will help Oblivione in those fights and stop them, taking so much damage. Now, play are even sticking to their guns on Sanctum, so they're looking to play around the drums. They don't want to be playing into the open Oblivione. They're bringing out the Ramatra now with this Echo, looking to just out-brawl the side of play here. with this hack as well.
Obviously, this mirror matchup between, or the matchup between it. Well, I was gonna say the matchup between the Reinhardt and Ramatra would be something interesting to see, but well, they've already lost Chase Torch back to spawn with a nice place coming in from play, as that should be the first capture going towards them.
Yeah, that charge is one of the key advantages that a Reinhardt has over the Ramatra in a brawl. Being able to just charge out the Ramatra basically means that they can't nullify any damage of the block, and these staggers are not good for Oblivione, and it's just going to get that control up for play. And they're playing smart. They know exactly the angles that they need to contest to not let Oblivione, deal them too much damage from afar, which is still the advantage of Oblivione's composition compared to play.
Yeah, as they're gonna have to come in and around the charge coming in from Gruen K, not gonna land on anyone, and they're gonna be found out thanks to the follow-up from the supports, and then Maimon coming in already, and now they've got the upper hand. Sky does go down, but they found another couple of picks in their favor with Chase Torch on this Ramatra, now able to take the space and get this point back into the favor of Oblivione.
Yes, finally. It was a bit of a, we'll say, confident charge from Gruen K that got them taken out. A bit of miscommunication there with the team. But now that they've got Reflex Window, they can set up a good line of control here to try and get this point back into their hands.
Well, they're coming in the count. Well, they tried to use the high noon early on. They do find out Maimon, but it is still traded around. Either team still looking for the advantage, but they are kind of on the back foot. But now the annihilation coming through from Chaser. What? Well, no, there's no longer there. Keo comes in clutch, taking down the ulting Ramatra as play come back strong, still having this advantage. They do still have to take care of these stragglers, but the EMP coming in, the nano boost on the Cookie as well, trying. They seem to think this is winnable. Now with that copy coming in over on to the Cassidy as well, investing the Kitsune ultimate, or Kitsune rush, but it's still just not enough. Play continuing to dominate this. They get the point black flipped into their favor, but oh my goodness, the damage coming out from Oblivione is just a lot, and they're going to be able to come back and get the point into their favor.
Yes, but play, they really forced it to be a big investment from Oblivione, who now are struggling towards those key ultimates where play. They're going to come in with Keo's high noon again, if it doesn't get hacked instantly this time. As you see Pac also on the Sombra trying to just confuse that backline.
Yeah, they're going to come in there looking to get things started with Keo going to and charge yet again. Crispy's down and out of this fight. Some more true shots from Keo on the Cassidy, who's just been a dominant force for play as well. It did get flipped over for a little bit, though, as Oblivione up to 85% here.
And now they will be coming soon to this EMP of their own, but Pac already has theirs. There's no support also really help against Pac's EMP, so it's going to be devastating no matter what.
It really is. This EMP needs to land, but Keo's going to start things off with the high noon coming out, and they find Maimon, and now that I'm not going to find anything. The EMP of their own comes in from Oblivione. They're going to invest all their ultimates to try to stay alive, try to keep things going, because, well, they've got to. It's up to 98%, but they haven't found anyone, really. The nano boost on the Chase Torch, but they just keep losing players. This Cookie is now gone. They've got to dig deep. They've got to figure it out here and now, or they're going to lose out on Busan as Chase Torch goes down so low. They go down. Keo yet again, just finding the shot after shot with the Peacemaker. Maimon falls down as well to it, as this should be play. Taking map number 1 as the overtime bar ticks away.
And the script has already been flipped. Play have taken the first map in this series, the Open Division qualifying squad, 3rd place, and they've taken it to Oblivione and taken that first map. And there's a few key players that are really standing out, and that's Gruen K and Keo. Keo has been a consistently outstanding Cassidy player at least. I mean, hitting those shots when they need to and keeping those fights contested, and the pressure that just being applied to Expavione. Chase is struggling basically on the tank line to get the space that's needed for their team to get a footing, but an incredible start for play.
Really is. It really is indeed, Gio, and definitely not the way we were thinking things were going to start off. I mean, they looked before play came back on that first round of Busan. It looked so in favor of Ex Oblivione, but then, like you said, they let Keo start just running wild with a Peacekeeper.
Yeah, and run wild they did, turning the whole field into Wild West, and that's the sort of spaghetti western that you expect from a player like Keo, um, who's come from that open division roster and is proving himself here in the field of contenders and is really making a name for himself. And that's a lot of what contenders is.
Mhm.
It's players stepping up to the mark and saying, "Hey, I demand respect." And right now, they're earning that respect because they've opened up a weakness in one of the better contenders teams in EMEA, and now Exabill find himself in another situation where it's not going to be a clean win, even if they get the win.
Yeah. So they've got to come here back. We've got we don't have our next map yet, but we've got our obviously next map type, which would be hybrid coming in. But they've got to come through and obviously dig deep here. They don't want to go down 2-0. That's really where you see teams lose their mentals. But obviously they're in a position where their mentals are still pretty good, but you want to come in with this next map choice, figure it out, depending on what you want to run. Obviously, you said they have Vestola as well on this roster if they want to change things up on the tank line.
Yeah, and it looks like Numbani is going to be the choice for ex Oblivione, and I like that. Really forcing that high ground dive map against a team that really stuck to their guns and played that Rhine brawl. Now we're going to really find out what player are capable of. Are they a brawl one trick team and they're going to have some cookie strat on Numbani, or are they going to have to adapt and play into what Ex Oblivione have? That's going to be the key question I have as we head into Numbani.
Yeah, that is going to be the question. Obviously, we've seen Money. At least I've seen a little bit here, and it's always one real composition. There is a minor difference between attacking and defending, but it is always that Winston, and then we'll see probably a Tracer, Echo, Ash, and then
Yeah.
Ana and Lucio, I believe, are the two supports that we'll most likely be seeing.
Yeah, Expo have shown that they have very keen prowess on playing that Ash and Echo composition. The damage supplied by both of them, they're both capable of following up on that damage. Either with Echo being able to get that beam in, or just the pure DPS of that Ash. And Ex Oblivione are going to be starting there on defense, and the key question is, now that we've brought in Pistola,
Hmm.
um, you know, we're probably looking at Diva now, right? Because
Yeah.
that's what Vistola's all about. Vistola's that off-tank player, and it's a slower rate of play. You're not looking to go in too fast or too hard. It's more about um, taking space slowly or peeling for your team. Also, play. They have swapped up their tank line as well. TVNT is going to come in. Looks like also the Diva player for play. Then we're going to get to see what player capable of on a more poke composition here. Both teams have also opted for the Mercy. It's a complete mirror matchup here. And most importantly, I'm excited for this Kyo Cookie duel on the Ash, because Kyo was so good at the Cassidy, and we know Cookie's so good at the Ash.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see this as well. They've also made a swap on their DPS as well. Swag Money 4 coming in for Pack to play this Echo for play as they're gonna start things off. Nice shot, Sticky Bombs trying to catch out Mamon as Mamon going down super low. Obviously, they're gonna be topped with that Mercy pocket as Cookie comes in clutch already, finding that first pick in the Ashe duel as they have to use that res to get Keo back into the fight for this defense. You want to hold on as long as you can, but TVNT gonna go down and out. Their mech gone, their life gone, as now Oblivione can rotate to the point. They are gonna have to deal with that anti-nade, but it's just not going to be enough really for play to stake their ground on the defense for much longer.
Yeah, as soon as EXO were able to get their boots on that high ground through the stairs, there was just nothing the play could do to try and contest it. And I think CVNT went a little bit too deep onto the back line alone and got themselves caught out. And now that's a very swift take for Oblivione. They're not taking that control loss lying down. They're coming back storming into this series to prove that they have earned their place in second in the standings so far.
As now they look to come through as what Mamon looking to get that first pick, but well, no. They're gonna just have to rotate back. The healing's there, keeping things going as it's just waiting for things to come out. And that's the thing that come out first. That nano boost coming into both of the Echoes, but it's Mamon yet again, just dominating the lobby on the Echo. We're seeing what they were doing so well on that first round of Busan now, as they're able to get through everything. They did get the unfortunate copy onto a Mercy of their own, but it's just still enough for Oblivione to win that fight out.
Yeah, man, like, who has the confidence to get the copy onto the Mercy, get the Glock out, and actually find eliminations? Maymona's. That's the answer to that question. Unfortunately, the touch for play doesn't come through, and it's a 5-minute 30 time bank for EXO, scrolling into third. Play, they really need to juggle these ultimates to start getting their own momentum going.
Yeah, they've got to figure it out here and now. The self-destruct comes through. Oh my goodness. Perfectly placed from Vestola. Showing out why they have done so well in Overwatch in League and Contenders. But now they come in. TVNT does find Sky, but it is still just all Oblivione right now in this kill feed.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ask for anything more than a bomb like that to find a double. The Vestola bomb, beautifully placed, rolling in the final line now to this point. Play, they don't have a whole lot to ask for. They're fully swapping now to a Junker Queen to get placement on the point.
Yeah, they've got to figure it out now, but it's just still Oblivione, Mamon on the Echo. You know, obviously not to be outdone. Cookie was there as well, but that DPS duo finding their stride as Oblivione come in with a huge time bank, 428 for all 3 points.
That is tremendous. I mean, yeah, they took a hit on the first map, but boy, have they come out the corner swinging. 428 is not an easy time bank to achieve and play. They know that. They're well aware of that. And now it's time for them to get onto their attack and do their best to get as good a time bank, right? I mean, getting 4 minutes 28 is unlikely, but you can still aim for 2 minutes. You know, try and get something where you can have a good foundation for those extra attacks. But basically, Oblivione have put themselves in such a beautiful position here in Numbani. And, yep, same composition. Don't change what ain't broken. And, yeah, Maimon is incredible in Echo. I could watch Maimon and Echo all day, 24 hours, 7 days a week, 4 weeks a month, you know, all year round. Because even when they copy a Mercy, they get the Glock out, and they get it done.
Yeah, we did see Swag Buddy teasing the Junkrat for a little bit, but I really think that the Mamon was able to get so much value because Keo had to divert their attention so much. They could not just focus on Mamon because, well, Cookie was also just doing such incredible things on the Ashe as well. So it is just so hard to deal with this dual-headed monster of Oblivione when everything's working out well in their favor. But right now, it is going to be Play looking to come back into this. Obviously, they need to get a good time bank here, but they're already going to lose TVNT. No, they're still alive, but Kyo goes down already to a nice dynamite from Cookie. But so that should be the first fight going into the favor of Oblivione, with everyone so low on Play. The nice anti-nade coming through from Sky to wrap things up.
Yeah, you're so right about Cookie fighting these eliminations, and again, just the core damage that they're able to output, right? And already they're finding issues, trying to take control of this high ground, but Oblivione, they're defending in a very aggressive way. They're not letting them get that inch for free. They're forcing them to use those resources. Maimon!
Now, more resource having to be forced out. They have to use that res to get Kyo back into this fight. They can't really afford to lose much more time because they want to at least try and somewhat match Oblivione's time bank here, but it just seems so impossible. Everything has to go perfect here from now on. With the copy coming through, they are going to blow up Mamon immediately, however, so they're not going to get any good value from it. But still, they have to find more here. It is Play. They've got ultimates to do so, but so does Oblivione. They've got now the nano boost on the Mamon, but the follow-up is there. Swag Money's taking Sky out, and that should be the opening that Play is looking for. They've got that healing no longer there as TVNT using that self-destruct. Another one comes through from Vestola, but it's still looking good. The copy to self-destruct there as well, as it's all green right now for Play as they're coming in and getting the capture percentage started.
Yeah, the nano into Swag Money just so they could go deep, find Sky. It worked. It was an exploratory play, and they definitely found something beautiful with it. 4 minutes on the bank. While it may not be as impressive as Oblivione's, it's still a decent time bank rolling through Mimbari, knowing that you need to complete this map. Now, Oblivione, they spend all their big chips there. They have no ultimates. Play, they can push forward with an aggressive Valkyrie if they want and just take that space by force.
Yeah, they've been taking that space already. Crispy going down, that extra bit of healing, that damage boosting, no longer available for Oblivione. They do get a nice anti-nade, though, onto TVNT. The follow-up, though, not able to be there as a Fleck hits a nice sleep dart and keeps things going for Play at the moment, with Vestola now back to spawn.
Yeah, and that's a tough spot, right? You don't have your tank to really help you get control of the area. It's going to be a last-minute touch here, and Cookie doesn't have Bob to help. In fact, I don't even know if they can touch. Maimon's looking for it, but can they do it? Yeah.
They are going to get the touch there. The Bob comes out from Kyo early on, but it is already just going to be Play finding these picks as Swag Money trying to build up to their own copy yet again, but they might not even need it. That focusing beam just does so much damage when players are below 50%, and that's going to be 4 minutes and 10 seconds for Play here. Obviously not as big as a time bank as Oblivione, but still a respectable one nonetheless.
Absolutely. And let's talk about his Junker Queen, right? It's a rest to switch to Junker Queen on second point because of that high ground. But now that we're on third, that's just going to compound how Play want to be styling these matches, how they want to take these duels in a brawl.
You're going to start it off the carnage coming through from TVNT, but it's the nano boost for onto Mamon, and that is just a lot of damage yet again as they come back from spawn and take things into the driver's seat for Oblivione.
Yep, there's that doorstop and the momentum of Play, trying to just unkilter them and take a moment to breathe on the defense, right? Which you haven't had since first point. Swag Money's going to have this duplicate. Curious to see who they'll go for. Likely Vestola to get that extra health. You imagine they'll go in deep.
Yeah, Cookie's gonna find another pick here already. The res is gonna be burned, but Vestola finds momentum out immediately afterward as Mamone continuing just to click heads with this Echo. Now play is just kind of caught in between a rock and a hard place here, but well, Oblivione is just gonna allow them to live for now.
4 ultimates, almost 5 for Oblivione. They've set them up perfectly, and if they can rotate these nicely and not over-exchange, then they can take us to overtime, especially if the Bob to stall the point if needed.
They're gonna come in there. It's just gonna be very difficult. But now the rampage comes through. But another nice sleep dart comes in from Sky. They do get the bleed effect on it to Vestola, but they have that the Diva self-destruct to come back into this fight. But now and well, it's gonna work for them yet again. Vestola coming alive, trying to not let the DPS outduel them so far, but it's still continuing just to be a DPS show from Oblivione as they force back play yet again.
Yeah, well, Oblivione also had all of those ultimates forced out. They will still have the Nano to go into Mimon again to try and trade out the backline, but play, they're going to have a Nano of their own, both worlds ready, and KO's Bob to try and create an off angle for them.
Swag Money opens things up. Cookie's now gone. They're gonna get that nano boost though onto Mamone, but there's all these picks coming in from play already as Swag Money with another one taking out their counterpart. They win this out, but they still have to win at least one more fight as Cookie swaps over to Widow.
Yeah, trying to get some of those headshots, just trying to get some trades there with that Widow pick. Now, below a minute, but Cookie's done it. Forces Rez.
Rez is going to be forced out already. You would love to have that for this last fight, but the nano boost is going to come on to Swag Money. The trade is there, though. You'll take that all day. The Rez can be used onto Mamone now, who has this copy available. The Carnage trying to come through. The copy onto the Junker Queen as TVNT is no longer there. This is looking all but over unless for some miracle play to happen for play. The Rampage being used by Mamone to perfection as Mamone finds 15 seconds to go.
Yes, and that basically means that their best case scenario is a draw, but that will keep them in the lead in this series. That is still something you want to strive for. You've got this duplicate to try and touch.
The self-destruct was there from Vestola, though. The duplicate is there as well. They've got to find it a crucial pick onto it. It's going to be over onto Vestola, but Mamone is still alive, continuing to just be this assassin from the sky. Mamone with another pick. Can they keep things going? Mamone with 4. Oh my goodness. Swag Money goes down. Cookie takes away the ace. But Oblivione are the ones on the top of the mountain as they take map number 2.
Yes, and they equalize this series, but boy, was that a statement made. The pure time bank that they had there on Numbani and not even letting play capture it completely just goes to show that they don't take these losses lightly. They've hit hard. They hit hard back, that's for sure.
They really did, and that was some impressive stuff coming in from Mamone, who was a little bit quiet after that first little fight on Busan, but came back full force on Numbani, and now tying up the series 1-1 with it now going to be Play's map pick of an escort type.
Yes, and we've seen the Play. They're probably more comfortable playing on the Brawl. Now that we're getting an idea of this, so you're thinking, you know, out of the map pool, they're probably looking to bring us to something like a Rialto or perhaps a Shambali Monastery, where they can, you know, even bring out the Ramatra if that's in their arsenal, or just play that Reinhardt that we know that they're strong with. That depends. I believe I got the map pool wrong there.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I was looking at Open Division.
I was like, yeah, Shambali, yeah, no, Rialto, yeah, no, neither of them
Those
are in
aren't.
the.
Yep.
Uh, with the thing about this map pool, though, Gio, is it is so hard to find a map that doesn't bode itself well to dive. The only one is really circuit, but you can still run dive if you really want to. Obviously, the end-all be-all comp of Sigma Double Sniper is still very good, but Dorado, Route 66, and Watchpoint are all pretty known for their dive compositions. Unless you want to get a little funny on Dorado, you can run a mace strat, but it's going to be really hard.
There's forward spawn strats with Dorado, Route 66. You know, we see that a lot with brawls, but you know, you're basically playing to lose in those strategies, right? And that's not really the best scenario you want to put yourself in any game or any sport. So you want to be playing to win, and it is difficult with this map pool that I'm now looking at the correct map pool. But you know, if you go to something, they're going to Circuit Royale. Now you're thinking, you know, Vistola is likely to still be in here and play that Sigma, and Vistola is a very, very strong Sigma player, and you're kind of poking the beast when you go to Circuit Royale. But you are putting a lot of faith in players like your DPS players who, you know, so far we have seen that Kyo is very strong on those hit scans. So you're putting a lot of faith in Kyo, you're putting a lot of faith in Pac, who's now back. It's actually going to be Kron K, who's also back, so we might see more than just a Reinhardt here. It's only speculation.
We also do have another swap coming in from Ex Oblivione Canal coming in for Crispy here. Which, okay, you know, maybe we're wrong about Sigma Double Sniper here, Gio.
Oh. Yeah, perhaps we are, or perhaps we're being debated. But at this rate, I think it's clear that player wanting to play close, and I think Ex Oblivione just know that they're going to play close, so they're playing this composition. They're playing to TP past the close hold, get a sneaky anti-nade or something onto them, and just pummel them with that Ramatra. That's why we're seeing Ex Oblivione come out with this composition, because they're just expecting this.
Yeah, and good look at good looking into their ball of wonders here is they figured it out. They figured out, obviously Play has been loving to play these brawls, and now they are gonna have to play one of their own as Vestola on the Ramatra trying to figure things out, as Cookie at the moment is kind of just getting capture percentage onto the cart. Momentum is going to meet them back at the cart of their own, and it's going to buy more time though for Ex Oblivione. They're going to have to back up and get to this cart, and that's going to allow Ex Oblivione to come through and set up better, as now they've found out that the immortality field from Reflect, and now they've lost Kyo. This is just not how they were hoping this hold would come through from Play.
Yeah, incredibly smart choice to put Cookie on the point and force play away from where they wanted to set up. And I just noticed that Maimon was also behind enemy lines for a lot of that also, but was able to stay alive and get back to their team. Play, they're in a tough position right now. They need to get some eliminations with this wall.
A nice TP into the back line of taking the supports out for Ex Oblivione, and that should be just enough for them to come back strong and get this hold started. Reflect finding Mamone out, and that is going to be that for that attack of Ex Oblivione.
Yeah, a very explosive TP choice. It's a risk, right? Because you're going right into someone who can anti-nade your entire team, but the reward was there for them. Now, Ex Oblivione, they're going to be walking in here with this Nano, likely going on to Vistola, or Mimon still. Vistola, of course, with that Annihilation. It's Pac, however, with this Blizzard, that Vistola needs to be very aware of, because they do not have the speed to rotate out of it if they get caught.
Well, the Photon Barrier is going to be the thing to start things off. The nice teleport comes through as Canal goes down early on. The copy is going to be there from Mamondo, just lighting it up with the Reinhardt. The Annihilation comes through as well. It's all white in the kill feed with the team kill gong being sounded as Cookie is now just pushing this cart towards point 1.
Yeah, and there's not going to be a touch here for play. And you're looking. Oh wait, actually, I was wrong.
Oh, they
EMP might need to come out.
Yeah, they're gonna have to use that EMP here to start it off. As it is going to land them the fight win, but you would have loved to win it without that ultimate investment. But well, you've got to do what you've got to do in the long run as Oblivione take point 1.
Yeah, because you don't want to get caught in a situation where you're just pure brawling the composition that play have. So, yeah, you need to invest EMP to get that advantage. And that's a great force from play and will really help them try and get a hold now of point 2, which is going to be harder. The hardest point for them to hold because of how open it is.
It really isn't open, but well, the Transcendence from Canal is going to come out early on, and Vestola just dominating everyone with these pummels. The Nemesis form, the true nemesis of play right now, as this is just all Oblivione.
Not only that, but Canale was body blocking the entrance there and basically just made it a blender of pain for play. But again, they still have this TP ready. They've now got the Shatter that they can utilize.
Well, the Shatter is going to come through, but the nice May... Oh, no, a Maywall from Peck was the one to block everyone up. That's disastrous if your play is now the Annihilation comes through from Vestola finding 3.
Outstanding. Vestola is dominating. Oh. Yeah, is dominating incredibly so. And that's an issue where, like, you block off your own Rein's Shatter. You know, how do you recover mentally from that? You need to be quick in your recovery. Cookie just getting that EMP percentage is ready for it. As you see play, they're gearing up for a charge onto the backline, storming onto the high ground.
Yeah, the high ground coming through, but the EMP is there yet again, and that's just a microwave of damage coming through. Vestola with 4, the team kill yet again for Oblivione.
Boy, they have not stopped since the end of point 1. Play have done all that they can to just send themselves like a death ball into the backline, but they've been thwarted every time right into the defense of Oblivione. Let's see what they can do. They do have this Blizzard again.
As well, the Photon Barrier coming in, but that Blizzard is that key ultimate for play right now. But they're just gonna wait for that Photon Barrier to go through, and then look to attack. They don't really have they have the time to kill, but you'd love to win it here and now if you are Oblivione with a hack coming through, but still nothing doing. Now they're gonna drop out onto the low ground. The Sound Barrier comes through. The May ultimate pack gonna be using that Blizzard. Vestola trying to stay alive. They do go down in the end as play finally get a hold of the car.
Yes, and this is the point where they're probably going to have the strongest natural advantage because of the tight corridors that are just natural to this area of the map. Means that your Maywall is going to be a lot more effective, and your Reinhardt has less angles to potentially deal with. But again, Oblivione, they're going to come in hard here. They've got both Spur ultimates. They're just going to go into this Nemesis form with this Kitsune Rush and Nano.
Yeah, as they're gonna use it all. They can't use the copy. Was Mamon's now gone, but Vestola yet again on the Ramatra, continuing to just do so much damage in this Nemesis form. Now the Annihilation being popped, forcing them back. They don't get much value, but Gruen K now goes down. The Amp Matrix being used to try to save their lives, but well, they've already lost it, as now they have to come through. The point is now very close with the Kitsune Rush coming through now as the damage going to be just so much. The EMP yet again comes out from Cookie, but they only find out, they haven't found many people out, but a nice blizzard being built up from Mamone, who was able to get that up in time, should be enough for Oblivione to take this map, as the blizzard is going to be Ajaxed from play, as there they go. Oblivione complete all 3 points.
Yes, well, they're able to bring that time bank down a lot on the 3rd point. Again, just because naturally the Brawl, they like that 3rd point. But now, on their attack, they're going to have to really, find those key opportunities, which, to be fair, they have been with that TP, if that is the style that they go for again, because just TPing your death ball into an area and just spreading out like a disease. Is it far enough away from COVID to make those comments? I don't know. But it's something that we're getting a lot of value with. Oblivione, they did kind of adapt to it and start to expect it and then counteract it. So I imagine at play they're not going to go for that symmetric comp anymore. They're kind of maybe going to play a kind of paint by numbers brawl composition and just focus on that synergy that they have. Putting Kyo back on Cassidy is going to be good at kind of keeping Maimone at a bit more distance, because Maimone previously, when the Symmetra was out, could pretty much get a lot done without really being contested. Now Kyo's with that mid-distance Peacemaker is going to force Maimone to respect them again, just like Busan, trying to bring it back and trying to complete this map here on Circuit Royale.
Yeah, this is a really old school brawl here, Geo, from play. That Cassidy and May coming in from them. Obviously, BAP not part of old school brawl, but it is pretty much now with just the sheer amount of utility that it finds. But they're forcing Oblivione back for the time being here. They still have time. Obviously, they don't have to take this fight just yet.
Yeah, it's all about letting Cookie get this EMP charge and, find key hacks so that they can choose to go in for themselves with an advantage.
Well, the pummel coming in from Vestola yet again, forcing them back, but it's Maimone with the sticky bombs just landing true, continuously for Oblivione, as that is going to be that for the first fight.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure here on momentum and when to utilize the speed boost, because they are going to have to use that to really hone in on Oblivione, because this Oblivione's comp has the advantage at range. That's what Ramatra has against Reinhardt, the ability to just have range, poke, pull resources away from afar, then go in with the Nemesis form Big Wall.
They're going to come in, the Maywall coming in, yeah, like you said, a huge one, but they weren't able to deal with Vestola, who is already built up to their Annihilation thanks to the help of that Nano Boost. The Annihilation comes through, the copy on it to Pack there as well for Oblivione. Then Blizzard is going to be coming through, though. They don't find anything really besides that one pick onto Pack. Is now the Sound Bearer being invested. They might be able to turn this fight into the favor of play, unless there's some huge hero plays coming in from Oblivione. As the EMP now built up from Cookie, looking to be used any second now here to keep things going into their favor.
Yes, and it's going to have to come up big, right? You see Cookie waiting for it on the bridge, basically waiting for them to engage here.
As the Shatter comes through, but the EMP's even bigger. The follow-up there, thanks to the focusing beam of Mamone. Pack now gone, and that should be Oblivione holding strong yet again on their defense, unless they have something to do. As Kyo comes in with a nice click of the head, 1-2 now for Kyo, but they're going to be met by a very angry Ramatra, as Oblivione take the fight.
Yeah, and those picks from Kyo at the end, they're good, but coming in the end, they don't do a whole lot for you, as that they are going to get back into this fight very soon. Vestola is yet again going to have this nano to support them. Kyo gets hacked.
Kyo getting hacked up. They've got to get the follow-up onto them. They don't want to deal with that so much damage that we've seen. But Kyo, yet again, continuing to just find picks. Sky is no longer there. The Annihilation being used, pumping the damage down as they're all trapped up into this room. As it looks like, yet again, Oblivione have the upper hand in this, as all the cookies are crumbling for play right now. 25 seconds to go.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of time, but they do have a lot of resource. They will have this Blizzard in this next fight. The issue is that EMP can completely counteract it if that's how Cookie wants to play for. You see them perched like a gargoyle, waiting for the perfect moment.
Coming here, the EMP being used from Cookie already. They've got this. They've got the Blizzard available, and Vestola might go down. No, the freeze does not last long enough to stay off the aggression of Oblivione. If Vestola goes down, that might have been all they needed. The Annihilation in celebration as Oblivione take map number 3.
Yes, and again, they're looking even better. Maybe it was just the first game jitters for that control map, or maybe play have just struggled to find whatever they had there. But since then, Oblivione have just gotten better and better. Vestola being an absolute demon on the Ramatra throughout this entire map.
It just been incredible. It was Mamone on map number 2. Now map number 3, Vestola coming alive there. As when one, I mean, still, Mamone was still doing incredible stuff for Oblivione, but Vestola finally showing up consistently for Oblivione.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And now we're really seeing Oblivione get into their stride, and now it is match point, right? You know, we're in a situation where play, they're against the wall. They have taken a map which not a lot of people may have predicted even possible. So you already play need to be proud of what they have done. But now's not the time for pride. Now is the time to get in, go hard, and try and take another map from play, because with the rate that EXO has been playing and how much better we've seen them in each individual map, the fact that we're going on to push next is that's worrying, because that is the snowball map, and at this momentum, EXO, they're going to steamroll through that.
Yeah, definitely. And we saw play, you know, that brawl was very good on map number 1, but then Oblivione brought in Vestola to play Ramatra, and then it kind of just, the script was flipped completely on that narrative. And with push, I mean, they're all, obviously you can run all different types of compositions, but the only one that really, I mean, I just don't know what you'd go here for play. New Queen Street, Brawl, or Dive if you really want to. Esperanza Dive, Coliseo Brawl. It's just so hard to figure out where you would go if you want into, if you play.
Yeah, I could imagine New Queen Street. I mean, just the way that map winds back on itself creates quick avenues for a brawly composition to kind of rotate through. The issue is then, you know, what is Oblivion going to play? Are they going to, you know, key into playing a composition that's all about those multiple angles, and it's a very long sightline map in a lot of places? There's lots of high ground as well. Is that going to be an issue? Is your brawl then going to need a Symmetra again to kind of nullify that? You know, there's lots of questions that go into, you know, picking a push map when you're really a brawl, not one trick team, because we've seen them go off, but a brawl centric team.
Yeah, a brawl enthusiast team, if you will.
Yes, that's the word.
But we're still waiting to see what the map choice is going to be. I believe I have not been told what it is yet, but I'm just interested to see what these two teams decide to go for. And, well, it is going to be Caliseo, which, again, makes sense if you are play. They like that brawl, and this is probably the most brawly push map. But, again, unless for some reason Oblivione decided to bring in Chase Torch again, it's going to be very difficult to break through the brawl that we saw from Oblivione.
Yeah, if Oblivione come out with that rematch comp again, and they're playing into that very long, narrow corridor of that initial place where the robot starts, then they're going to need to find a way of closing the gap. That's the key issue for them. They couldn't close the gap on Circuit Royale's attack, and that just meant EXO were always playing in their preferred range, that kind of mid-short range poke, and then going Nemesis Farm, running in and just clobbering them when opportunities arose for it. And well, EXO are looking to do the exact same with that Symmetra, and I think Play are debating us, surely.
Surely, right? I mean, would it kind of work? Would it help with the disruption that they're looking for? Maybe, but yeah, there's with the map life on the line, you can't just come out with something random like a Doomfist.
Yeah, but I do like coming out with the Hanzo for Kyo. That Recon Arrow is going to help against Cookie when they're looking for those off angles, as well as the fact that you can really nullify that mid-range advantage that Exodus only have with those Storm Arrows and just the key one-shot potential.
Yeah, as Cookie Super, well, obviously still time to get healed back out, but it is just going to buy more time for plays. Now the nice Maywall comes through. Vestola trying to stay alive. They are going to get there. The healing from Sky and Canal, just so much. They're going to come through. The anti-nade on it to Ruin K, going to force back play yet again, as it's still anyone's point at the moment. But oh my goodness, another nice anti-nade from Sky, but Sky's the one to go down early on. Kyo, that Hanzo pick coming in clutch already for Play. They've got to continue this out, and they are going to get these bot progress in their favor, with Kyo continuing to land these arrows to the domes of Oblivione.
Yeah, I'm loving this Hanzo adaptation. Like I said, nullifies the advantage of Oblivione, puts some chips in your hands when you're struggling to get that distance down. Oh, but Cookie, maybe Caster Curse killed it.
Yeah, it seems to be that way, because now they're coming back. Sky's back from spawn, and Reflex gone, and that is going to be quickly back towards Oblivione here.
Yes, but that's a good start for Play. And keeping that robot in this Nord corridor is kind of their best case scenario. They will be heading back in with so many ults on both sides, and when that situation arises, I think Play might have the advantage, just because the sound barrier is easier to sustain your team through these very aggressive ultimates like the EMP.
Yeah, as they come in here, the EMP available, but the Amp Matrix is going to be used early on from Reflect, as well as a lot of ultimates coming in from Play, and they haven't used they've all but used one. Now, all the ultimates gone from Play. It is now the time for Oblivione to play, as they come through. As that is what they come through with the picks they need. They still have these DPS ultimates available as well here, Gio. It's not looking good for Play right now, with Kyo going down, as this should be Oblivione winning this out, and they might be able to get these forward spawns.
Yeah, with their DPS ults that they have, they're definitely on track to get this forward spawn. This EMP alone will do it, but I mean, Mon, we know how deadly they are when they duplicate.
Really are. They are going to get the touch, but oh my goodness, pack just blown up by Mamon and Cookie. The EMP does come through. Kyo, the only one still alive who was dealt with that hack. they are still finding picks here. The copy does come over onto Reflect onto the Baptiste, as this should finally be the clearing of the point that Oblivione was looking for here. But there are still players coming in back from play, but it looks like there it is. The forward spawn's unlocked for Oblivione.
And that's a nice early one for them, and it's going to be much harder now for play to get a hold and stop this snowballing effect that EXO have right now, especially since they're slowly getting to those ultimates. They'll be able to get some footing. EXO needing to back up, and now as we get back to this corridor, you have to be careful of Kyo finding those arrows and getting those eliminations from afar.
Oh! What a spy check coming in from Mamone, who found out Pack with that focusing beam, and Reflect goes down early on. Vastola almost built up to their annihilation as Gruen K cannot deal with the pummels through the shield, as this is just continuing to be Oblivione. And you were talking, they were giving that space, but they have the time to do so now here, Gio, because, well, maybe not. Cookie does go down. They are still trying to focus this out, get these picks coming in, and getting the bot back towards their favor for the time being, but the annihilation does come through here. The sound barrier in response to keep everyone up and healthy, but it's still, they're losing players right now. It's not looking too hot for Oblivione right now.
No, they're holding in, but they've used a lot of those ultimates to not a major effect, giving big opportunity right now for the side of play to really get a hold of this.
Yeah, they're gonna come in here already. Canale does find Kyo, but that is just a consolation prize for Oblivione right now. Play gets the bot back into their favor, but like I was saying, they can take these fights. You want to take these fights in this long corridor here.
Yes, and it's going to be a story of two Sombras, both with EMP, and there is no other ultimates on the board for either side to nullify that effect, so it's going to be about which EMP gets the best follow-up here.
Well, there's the EMP coming in early, and it only finds Canale, but it is just easily Suzu'd away. They do lose Cookie, though, so that EMP no longer on the board, but they still are continuing to find these picks, even in this mid-fight, without the use of any ultimates. The copy does come through. Mamone on to the Reinhardt, looking to deal some damage. The nice play is coming through as Vastola yet again finding that advantage in that tank battle over Gruen K. And that should be, yet again, Oblivione keeping the bot in their favor.
Gruen K is trying to nullify the advantage of the rematch with there, but the issue is the charge. It's a risk reward, and so far the risk has proven larger than the reward so far for Gruen K, as again the bot is on the move for Oblivione, and they still have their own EMP. They didn't need to invest that EMP to get this lead.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge ultimate fight for Oblivione coming in. They've got the EMP, like you said, and there it comes out. Vastola also has the Annihilation available if needed, as they might not, well, yeah, they are going to use it here early on to do push back play. They might not even need the picks, but it's just going to buy them more space with the bot yet again, and they still have these double support ultimates to use in this fight. They can use it onto anyone they really feel like. The Amp Matrix comes through, the Dragon Strike there as well, trying to buy more time. The Nano Boost comes through, the Shatter comes out, and Sky's back to spawn. And this should be enough, man. Maybe not, though. The Kitsune Rush being invested from Canale to try to keep things going in the favor of EXO, as they need to find a pick, and they might have done so. Kyo away from everyone and now down and out of this fight, but so many people are low from Oblivione, they might not really be able to keep this hold going.
Yes, and that Shatter was what they needed. You just need to find a key member, and getting that Ana is a great start. Charge going to come through. Annihilation is going to be ready, but Pack has EMP again to try and nullify that effect.
Yeah, they come in here. The Annihilation already built up yet again from Vestola. Kyo has made the swap over to the Cassidy, but it might be a little too late. 3 picks already for Oblivione, and the copy does come through onto Reflect here, getting the Baptiste back into this fight, and the duel comes through. Mamona is the one to find the advantage, and the Amp Matrix is built up, and now this should be almost all but over here. It's so close to the end here, Gio.
It is, and with 90 seconds on the board, the likelihood of play getting the lead again is so improbable. There are so many fight wins away from what they need, and you already see Cookie in the backline setting up for the next engage, setting up for this next EMP.
The EMP does come through. The follow-up not going to be really there, thanks to Momentum, who did have that sound barrier available to stave off the aggression from Oblivione. But now, with the Kitsune rush, Gruen K has found out Cookie. The EMP obviously already had been used, but still a nice pick to find in this fight. As right now, Pack looking to build up to their own EMP. The Shadow does come through, and it's going to find a few players on the ground as it's down to 30 seconds. They've got to win so many fights in a row, though, Gio. It's looking all but over here for play.
One team fight down, about what, 6 to go? That's a lot of struggle, and play. They're going to have to really play out their mind here, and they do need to wait for the rest of their players to get up, so they can't even push the bot too much further. 10 seconds remaining. Let's see if play are capable of miracles.
This is no 34th Street here, Gio, so it might be pretty hard to find a miracle here right now, but right now they're buying their time, but they still have so much time to work with as Oblivione that they can give these fights away. But, well, the fight is underway, and the Annihilation coming through. The Nano Boost, just so much damage as well, but it's now gone as they have to deal, well,
Oh, they pushed the ball away from them. Oh, well, I mean, at that point, it was so improbable, it was probably impossible. And Oblivione, they prove that perhaps it was a fluke, perhaps it was a slow start, but by the end, there's no doubt about it that EXO, on this day, were the better team.
Yeah, they were just so such a well-oiled machine for Oblivione today. The DPS line was so good as well with, I mean, Mamona and Cookie were just so good. And then Vestola coming in for those last 3 maps, just a force to be reckoned with on that tank roll. And obviously, and then they couldn't have done that all without the support line, who is just steady and reliable.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they were really experimenting with it today. This is the first time that I've seen Sky come in this much, and are really, getting a feel of what that Sky, Canale, Crispy trio can be like. Because we know that Crispy, Canale, they're legendary. They work together, so in synchronous. But, with Sky, that just adds that extra power, that extra flair, and they're really finding where Sky is getting that playtime. And so far, so good. A lot of key anti-nades on the Ana throughout this series really turned things around for them. But Oblivione, that's going to really help them in the standings now. It wasn't clean, right? Again, they're struggling to get clean wins. They've only had 1 clean win so far in their history of matches, but they are keeping themselves up there at 2nd place, slowly but surely catching up to Twisted Minds there. The Twisted Minds haven't yet had their stats updated though, but EXO, they're really needing those clean wins, and that's going to be the story of the next match, I think.
Yeah, definitely. If like we see, the Triple Esports there is at 500 at the moment, so this is where you've got to be able to take, like you said, one of those clean wins. You want that 3-0 if you are Oblivione here. But we are going to head to a little break between that matchup. Go get some water, get something to snack on. You're not going to want to miss more Oblivione after this.